Que sí sea de verdad que Abel tiene razón.
Perfect.
I really wanted to show the real truth of what it was like being a female manager, because it's not glamorous. There were a lot of times where I was in those situations and I was struggling to get listened to, and I was struggling to do my job, because you have to really assert yourself to be taken seriously as a woman in the industry. It's recording. My name is Nadia Khan. I'm a music manager, I'm a consultant, I'm a board member, and recently got elected to become chair of AIM, which helps represent and support independent record labels and all rights holders, and helps build entrepreneurial businesses as well. And I'm also the founder of Women in Control. So it's really great to be back here in Soho Radio as well. Like the last time I was here, we'd done a takeover with Soho Radio and AIM and Jägermeister for their label lodge. They gave us a space for a week and it was really incredible. I had different partners take over. We had Superfox take over, Girl Gang, 10 Letter PR and Girls of Grime, which are all great female-led organisations and companies doing great things, and they let us take over radio shows all week and sell merch here, and we did so much in the space, so it was a really, really great time. So I've been working in the music industry for around 19 years now. I started out doing music PR. I had a real vision that I wanted to get into management. When I started being a manager, I felt like, wow, I'm finally here. I didn't realise it was going to be so challenging for me as a female in a really male-dominated industry, in a really male-dominated job role, in a really male-dominated genre as well. So my first challenge is I found a lot of guys would maybe call me and feel like they could speak really aggressively to me and try and bully me into agreeing lower deals. I have not been able to get into venues because bouncers or security have just not believed that I'm the manager. They've laughed in my face multiple times. I've had to call guys that work for me to come out and say, yep, she's okay, she can come backstage. I've been kicked off festival stages when my artist is performing on the stage because the security, again, just think I'm assuming that I'm a groupie or something. When I started to talk to other women in the industry, I found that their experiences were the same as mine. I felt like we'd all been going through the same thing, but nobody had been talking. It's like that really struck with me, and I felt that this was something that we needed to talk about and shine a light on. So I started Women in Control. Me starting to open up across my social media and just share the reality of what my experiences were like. So say, yep, I'm on tour, I'm alone, and this is what it's like for women in the industry. And that gave me strength and inspiration as well. So I opened Women in Control up to free membership for everyone, and I was inundated with requests, which was great, but it was also concerning to me because I realised that there was such a huge issue in the industry. Within the first week, I had over 700 members sign up, and I felt really overwhelmed in the beginning. I started to do group sessions so I could start to meet different members, and in one of the group sessions with industry executives, I met Claire Rose, who works for PRS Music as an outreach manager, and I wanted to build an online community forum space, and she was really passionate about being part of that and, you know, helping build and drive that community. So I brought her on board to be community manager.
In my role at PRS, I look after the West of England, and I'm in a team with 3 other guys who are lovely and are great male allies, but I started out quite young. I was just fresh out of uni when I started my job, and I had my experience of sexual harassment, bias. You know, there's been plenty of times where I've been at an event and I've been stood with my team, and someone will shake all their hands and won't shake mine and won't even look at me. And I didn't really know how to cope with it, and I didn't have that woman or figure there to be like, this is happening to me. I felt very isolated. So then when I went on the call, I was just like in this call with just the most amazing women who were all having the same experiences as me, and I was like, oh my God, where was this when I started out? Because like if I could have all talked to you then, Like, it would have been really great to have that support network and be like, hey, this has happened, what do I do, how do I handle it? So that's when I kind of reached out about like the community, because I just thought, especially for like younger women starting out in the industry, it's like it would be great to have that community there and that sort of support network.
I think lockdown made a lot of the industry actually reflect and have that time to actually think about things that are happening. Like, obviously there was the tragic murder of George Floyd, and that triggered a lot of events like the Black Lives Matter movement, and the show must be paused as well. And there suddenly felt like there was a real interest in the industry talking about diversity, and that led to me starting to do some lockdown webinars every week, and really started to grow the community and really started to have the time to speak to other women in the industry, and just found that so inspiring, because that gave me the strength to say, well, you know what, there is issues in the industry, but I feel like there's a drive for change. So my first report that I did was called Seat at the Table. I analysed and looked at the makeup of 12 of the UK music trade bodies, their chair positions, CEO positions, and the makeup of their boardroom and their senior teams as well, just to kind of see what it was like for women. I didn't want these statements to be performative. I wanted to make sure that we could action change off the back of these statements.
You know, actually, how much that report has changed the industry. It really has. It's crazy. So yeah, big ups to you, because if you hadn't done that, then things might be in a very different place right now. These reports gives people data, tangible facts to see it right in front of their face, and they really can't ignore it, because one thing that happens a lot, and I've experienced this quite a bit, is talking about a problem, people kind of acknowledging it, and then it just kind of goes away, and people just don't really understand or see the need in actually, you know, pushing forward and changing these things. But with data, you can't argue with it. It's there.
Following on from the Seat at the Table report, I also released a radio report looking at the state of UK radio. I was really interested in looking at how many female artists are played across UK radio stations, and I brought my artist Laughta on to get involved in that. She's a big part of the Women in Control community. She's our mental health advocate. Laughta, I wanted to talk to you a little bit as well, because I remember speaking to you after that radio report came out, and you got really emotional about some of the findings in that. So do you want to talk us through like how you felt when you heard about it?
I just felt this rage. You know, I'm not seeing a lot of female artists on playlists and so forth, and then on streaming sites as well. I'm not seeing female artists on there that should be on there, right? Not just me, I'm talking about other women. I'm seeing 99.9% male artists on the major playlists, wherever you go, whether it's radio, streaming, and I felt this inside. So when your report came out, I was like, I'm not going crazy. It just kind of reinforced my thoughts, because for ages I was thinking, what is going on? Like, why isn't there women? Why aren't they getting booked? Am I going crazy? Am I just not seeing these things? And it just made me realize that what I'm thinking is right. These inequalities do exist and really need to be stamped out. And I feel so grateful that you and Linda had both done the report and released it, because finally it felt like someone could see an issue and was doing something about it. Hopefully, you know, it continues in the right direction.
There's a lot of great changes that I see happening across the industry, which makes me feel really positive about the future, but there's still so much work to be done. But it's really great to see so many great organisations out there, like Women in Control, Girls I Rate, the F List. There's so many great organisations that are out there doing this work, and there's so much to be done that there's not enough for one of us to be taking on that whole burden.
Everything's louder together, isn't it? So like, it doesn't make me feel so isolated anymore, because I've got all these other great voices around me.
How powerful women are when we get together. This group, I think, Nadia, major kudos, because I think it's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I think it's really great to see brands getting involved and having a message and using corporate responsibility in a way to actually speak out and get involved in social issues. You know, with Women in Control being a not-for-profit organisation, I have limited resources and also a limited reach to what I can do. So it's really great to partner up with brands and get access to a wider audience and be able to spread that message. It's all about amplifying the voices of women, so I'm amplifying those issues that are out there and creating some more exposure on that. So it's really great to work with brands that have that genuine care to want to be part of that change. For anyone trying to get into this industry, I would say just always follow your passions and your dreams. At the start of my journey, I got told no. That didn't stop me, I kept going, and if I took that no, I wouldn't be where I am today. So just keep going, keep believing in what you're doing and overcome those obstacles and reach out to those amazing people that are in the industry that are going to be there to support you through your journey as well. I'm excited about the future. It is a long process. Change doesn't come immediately. It's a matter of 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, but it's going to take all of us that are working together. There's so many people out there right now fighting this cause and passionate about it, and we all just have to keep fighting on to continue to get there.